What if I told you the world's longest international border is also one of the most peaceful? And yet, it's full of hidden secrets, weird rules, and places where people literally live on both sides at once. Hey everyone! Welcome back to Geography Facts, where we explore the strange, surprising, and mind-blowing stories hiding in maps. If you love discovering the hidden geography of the world, go ahead and subscribe, and while you're here, give this video a thumbs up. Today, we're exploring the 8,891-kilometer-long border between Canada and the United States, the longest undefended border in the world. But trust me, it's far from boring. The Canada-US border is often described as peaceful, even boring. There are no fences for most of it, no military patrols, no tanks, just forests, rivers, and the occasional crossing. But here's the wild part. This seemingly simple line on the map is full of quirky anomalies, odd towns, and even buildings cut in half by the border. Much of the border was drawn along the 49th parallel, but thanks to mapping mistakes, treaties, and 19th century explorers who weren't always great with directions, the border zigs and zags in all kinds of unexpected ways. Let's talk about split towns places where one street is in Canada and the other is in the US. 1. Darby Line, Vermont, and Stansted, Quebec. In this small town, the border literally runs through houses, streets, and even a library. The Haskell Free Library and Opera House is a building intentionally built on the border. The entrance is in the US, but most of the books are in Canada. The borderline is marked right on the floor. You can walk into Canada just by going to the bathroom in this building, but you still need to report to customs if you actually leave the premises. 2 Canusa Street. In the same area, there's a road called Canusa Street, where one side is American and the other is Canadian. So, if you're walking down the sidewalk on the wrong side, you're in a different country. Talk about awkward mail delivery. You might imagine the Canada-US border is marked by fences or signs in the wilderness. But actually, most of the border is totally invisible except for a very peculiar feature. The slash is a 6-meter-wide treeless strip that runs for hundreds of kilometers through forests and mountains, maintained by chainsaws and GPS. It's like someone drew a line on the forest with a highlighter and just kept trimming the trees to match it. That's not nature, that's geopolitics. Even though the border is friendly, it's also filled with weird rules and crossings that make things more complicated than you'd think. Crossing to get to the same country. Like we saw with Point Roberts, Washington. You actually have to leave the US through Canada and re-enter to reach this tiny exclave. There's also Campobello Island, New Brunswick, which is only accessible by road through the US, making every drive a border crossing. Border golf course. In Montana and Saskatchewan, there's a golf course that spans the border. Tee off in Canada, putt in America. Just don't forget your passport for the back nine. No border control at all. There are lakes and remote areas where the border technically exists, but there's no actual crossing point. Fishermen and hikers can cross without even realizing it. though legally, that's a problem. Even accidentally stepping into the other country can get you fined unless you go to an official crossing and report. No American mailboxes in Canada. You can't have a U.S. mailbox on Canadian soil, even if your driveway starts in the U.S. Some folks in border towns have P.O. boxes across the line just to keep things legal. Shared emergency services. Some towns near the border share fire departments and hospitals with mutual aid agreements. So if your house catches fire in Canada, Americans might be the ones putting it out. Talk about teamwork. Cross-border families. In some areas, families live in one country and work or go to school in the other, crossing the border daily like a regular commute. During COVID, this became a huge issue. Border closures meant some people were cut off from their own family just down the street. Secrets and surveillance. For all its friendliness, the Canada-US border is one of the most watched in the world. There are drones, cameras, and surveillance towers scattered along more populated sections of the border, particularly after September 11th. But in the remote north, it's mostly just wilderness. There are hundreds of unofficial trails used by smugglers, adventurers, and even hikers who don't realize they've crossed into another country. The border may be peaceful, but it's not lawless. People have been arrested for smuggling maple syrup, guns, or even cheese. Yes, cheese smuggling is a real thing. So the next time someone says the Canada-US border is boring, tell them about the libraries on the border, the golf courses that cross countries, and the people who need a passport just to check their mailbox. It's the friendliest border in the world, sure, but it's also one of the strangest. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Geography Facts for more deep dives into the world's weirdest geography. Tell us in the comments, what's the strangest border story you've heard? Or have you ever visited a split town? We want to hear your experiences. Until next time, keep exploring and remember, geography isn't just maps. It's full of secrets hiding in plain sight.